Welcome to CSEGuru. In this session, we will discuss an example to implement do-while loop. The concept of do-while loop already we have discussed. I will provide the link in the description for your reference. The program is to find the sum of n numbers using do-while loop. So sum of n number is nothing but, suppose if you have entered n value is equal to 2 in the sense, sum of the n numbers is 1 plus 2. That is 3. Suppose n value is 4 in the sense, sum of n numbers is starting from 1, we need to add the sequential numbers up to this n number. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 10. Suppose if it is 5 in the sense, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So that is 15. So this is the logic of sum of n numbers. So this logic we are going to implement with the help of this do-while loop. So in this program, first we need to enter n value. If the n value is 5 in the sense, so here we will enter n value 5. And I is the variable, that is the loop variable initialized to 1. This do-while loop, first it will execute the body of the loop once without checking any condition. So here there are two statements in body of loop. First it will find the sum. Sum is equal to sum plus I. So this sum we have initialized to 0 first. And I value is 1. So by default it will execute these two statements first. And then only it will check the condition here. So after executing these two statements, that is, it will find the sum and update the I variable. I variable is incremented by 1. Then with the incremented value of I, it will check the condition. If the condition is true, again it will execute the body of the loop one more time. And after execution, it will update the I variable and again with the updated I value, check the condition. If the condition fails, means it will exit and it will print the sum value. So this is the logic. And this logic we will trace with the help of this do-while loop. So to find the sum of n numbers using for loop, while loop and do-while loop, here is the code for 3 looping statements. So using the for loop, we can initialize like this. I value is 1, check the condition I less than or equal to n and then update the I variable. And there is only one statement in the body of loop to find the sum. Sum is equal to sum plus I. And if you are considering the while loop, this initialization is done outside the loop and condition evaluation is with the loop I less than or equal to n, and this loop updation is at the end of the body of the loop. And this statement will find the sum value. And if you are considering the do while loop, the while loop and do while loop is almost similar. That is, initialization, condition evaluation and updation, all three is similar in while loop and do while loop. But in for loop, if we are considering, all three statements we have specified as a single statement along with this for. But in while loop and do while loop, all three statements are specified as a separate statement. So in do while loop, I is initialized to 1 first, then by default this body of the loop will execute once. That is, first sum value, first iteration sum value it will find, then it will update the I variable. Then it will check the condition. And in do while loop, the important thing if you are considering is it has to end with a semicolon. But in while loop and for loop, it does not end with a semicolon. And do while loop, if you are considering, it is a posters loop and condition is checked at the bottom of the loop. And in for loop, if you are considering, condition will be evaluated at the top of the loop. Similarly, while loop also, condition will be evaluated at the top of the loop. So this is the code segment to find sum of n numbers using for loop, while loop and do while loop. So now we will trace the logic of this do while loop to find the sum of n numbers. So initially we have to enter n value. Suppose n value I have entered here is 5 means we need to find the sum up to this number 5. So if you are considering the logic, initially I value is initialized to 1. So for first iteration we need to consider I value is 1. So by default the body of the loop will execute once without checking any condition. So sum is equal to Sum value in our program we have initialized to 0. That is 0 plus I value is 1. So here in this iteration we will get the sum value 1. And then increment I variable. I value is previously 1. If it gets incremented by 1 in the sense, now it is 2. Then at the end of the loop, check the condition while the updated I value only we have to consider 2 less than or equal to n value is 5. Condition true. Then it will allow the body of the loop to execute once. So now first iteration is over. At the end of the first iteration, we have checked the condition. Now condition is true. Next, it will allow for second iteration. So second iteration if we are considering, I value is 2. Then the body of the loop is sum is equal to previous iteration, sum value is 1 plus I value is updated I value is 2. So sum we will get it as 3. Then update the I variable. Now I is 3 incremented by 1. Then check the condition while I value is 3 less than or equal to 5. Condition true. Next, it will allow the body of the loop to execute one more time. That will be considered as third iteration. So for third iteration, the body of the loop is find the sum. Sum is equal to previous iteration sum value is 3 plus I value is 3. So we will get it as 6. Update I variable. I variable will get incremented by 1. Now it is 4. Then at the end of the body of the loop, check the condition. I value, that is updated I value, is less than or equal to n value is 5. Condition true. Next, it will allow the body of the loop to execute one more time, and that will be considered as fourth iteration. So in fourth iteration, sum is equal to updated sum value is 6 plus I value is 4. Now we will get it as 10. And update I value, I gets incremented by 1. Now it is 5. Then at the end of the body of the loop, check the condition while 5 less than or equal to 5. Here it is not less than 5, equal to 5. Equality condition is satisfied. Condition is true. It will allow the body of the loop to execute one more time, and that will be considered as fifth iteration. So in fifth iteration, find the sum. Sum is equal to previous iteration sum value is 10 plus I value is updated I value is 5. Now we will get it as 15. Then update the I variable. I gets incremented by 1. Now I value is 6. Next, check the condition while 6 less than or equal to 5. N value is 5 only. Condition fails. So now the loop will terminate. It will not allow the body of the loop to execute. The control will transfer to the next statement in the C code. So next statement is using the printf statement to display the sum value. So sum value in the last iteration is 15. So now we will get the output as 15. Sum is equal to 15. So this is the output we will get it for the n value 5. So if you have entered n value is 10 means n value 5 in the sense it has taken 5 iterations. Suppose n value if you have entered as 10 in the sense it will take 10 iteration and display the sum value. So this program for any number of n value it will find the sum and display the output. So this is the logic of sum of n numbers using do while loop. Thank you for watching this video.